Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. Today is Wednesday, February the 1st, 2023. Happy February, guys. All right, let's jump right into it. On a scale of 1 to 10, you know what? It was solid. I'm going to give it a 7.5. It was solid to me. So we see Adam, Sally, and Nick. And so Sally had just got off the phone call with her OB. So she walks up to Nick and Adam and she's like, "What's going on?" They're asking her, "Are you okay?" Because she looks upset. And she's like, "Yeah, but I'm not very hungry anymore. What's going on with you guys?" And Nick was just like, he and Adam were talking about their dad. And Adam says Nick was warning him that his dad might have something in store for him, even though he doesn't feel like Nick was being genuine. He wasn't doing it to help Adam. He was doing it for selfish reasons. And Nick said, "Well, whatever the reasons are, I'm warning you." And he was like, "I appreciate that." But then Adam says, "Sally, are you okay? You don't look so well." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. It's just stressed about the job." So Nick says, "I'm going to take you home." And she was like, "Okay." And so she looks at Adam and then she leaves. Okay. And so that's it with that, right? So then we go to Nick and Sally, and she's worried because her blood pressure is up. And those of you who have been pregnant know that your blood pressure going up, even though it might seem, oh well, you just got high blood. That could be very dangerous when you're pregnant. And so she's never had an issue with this before. And I say, "Well, Sally, one of the reasons your blood pressure is up, is because you're stressing." She doesn't know who the father is. She's worried that it will be Adam. She wants it to be Nick, which makes me think it's not going to be Nick. And so she's stressed out about this. And because of that, it's affecting her body, which could affect the baby. But Nick said, "It sounds like your doctor's on top of it." And she was like, "Yeah, but she just wanted this to be them time, and she doesn't want to put this heavy weight on their relationship." And he's like, "No, everything will be fine." Now, a lot of y'all are saying you believe that Mariah and Tessa will end up with Sally's baby, and we'll see how that works out, but we'll know, child. So, and that was it with them, y'all. So then we go over here to Abby and Lily. And Lily, she's at Abby's restaurant. Lily is at Abby's restaurant. So Abby's like, "Do you need me to tell them to go ahead and get your order? Do I need to get your order?" She was like, "No, no, no, I can wait." And she said, "Let me guess, you're doing takeout so you can work long shifts at the office." And she said, "Yeah." She was like, "Abby, I just want to get your opinion on something, because Devon clearly trusts you. He let you sit in on our conversation, but you didn't have a lot to say. So I just want to ask you, how do you really feel about this?" And she said, Abby was very honest with her. She said, "At first I thought Devon, I was trying to talk him into taking the deal." And she says, "Oh, he needs to." This is Lily. "He needs to. And he can have the name Hamilton Winters and start over again. We're giving him a large sum of money." And then Abby said, "But it's not about that for him." And she said, "It's about family and his legacy with Neil and, the company that he built." And she tells Lily, excuse me, "Honestly, I think you have your priorities in the wrong place. If you think this is about money and how much money y'all could lose or how much money you can make for Devon, because it's not, it's personal for him. It's about his family." And baby Lily said, not you questioning my priorities. I am offended by that." And then she gonna try to lay it on thick. "I really need you to get Devon on board, because I really like she just so wants to work with him or whatever. So I really need you to talk to him. If there's any chance that you could tell him to just accept this deal and come back to the company and everything, I really need you to do that." So then Lily goes to the office and Esther is there, and she says, "I see you had a hard time." So she gives her a cup of coffee just the way she likes it. And she says, "I hope you and Devon work this all out. I haven't seen him." And she says, Lily's just like, "I don't know where he is." And she said, "I hope y'all work this out, right?" So then Devon is at Crimson Lights and Victoria comes up to him and she's questioning him about, what's your relationship with Tucker? Everything going on with Hamilton Winters, yada yada. And he's like, "I hope you don't regret hiring Nate and Audra. They were snakes for us, for Chancellor Winters. They were snakes for us." But he and it, though- so anyway, she was asking him all these questions, and Devon said, "Why are you so concerned about Tucker and Chancellor Winters?" Excuse me. "Why are you so concerned about all this?" And she was like, "Devon, we were friends at one time, so I just want to know, everything's up, but everything is okay with you." And Vaughn doesn't trust it because he knows Victoria always has something up her sleeve. And she said, "Devon, if I we were friends, and I still consider you friends, especially like with Abby and everything. So if if you think everyone who doesn't move the same way business wise is your enemy, you're gonna create a small circle." I said, not you to try to steal this man's company, not you that used his cousin to do it, not you trying to give advice, ma'am. You're so sneaky and such a snake. And then you're just like your father, where you do wrong things, but instead of being like, "You know what, that was my bad, I should have apologized for that," because that's what Devon was telling her. Like, "You're all in my face, like we're friends, and you haven't even acknowledged or apologized for what you tried to do. And every time I bring it up, you act like, well, hypothetically speaking, if that's what happened." No, ma'am, not you trying to give him advice and telling him his small circle is going to be small. How big is your circle? How big is your circle? What true friends do you have? Because we don't see you hanging out with anybody but your mama and daddy and your brother. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, child, I'm sorry. Victoria be working my nerves. Like, everybody's working my nerves on this whole Devon thing. Like, they can't see it from his point of view. And y'all know I didn't even like Devon, but God. So then, excuse me, we go over here with Abby and Devon, and she's telling him that she talked to Victoria, and I mean, excuse me, she talked to Abby, and she at first thought it was all about the money for Abby. And he's like, "It's not. What is it?" And she said she's trying to hold on to you, so she can work with her brother. He said, "Well, yeah, I know we want to work with each other. That's what we said." He said, "But at this point now, it's not even about working with each other. It's about her keeping my company from me." And she said, "I just think you should think about it, because Lilia went and put a battery in her back. So now Abby is like, I don't know, Devon. Maybe she just really seems like she wants to be family and she wants to work with you." He was like, "But only if we do what she wants us to do." Like, and so he tells Abby, "Thank you for telling me this," or whatever. So then he leaves, and we see Tucker with Daniel, and Tucker is talking to Daniel, and he's telling him everything about the merger, and with Daniel, and so he's like, "Okay, well, I don't know about this yet, because I'm still working with Lily, so I don't know about going, full on with this, right?" And so Tucker's just like, "Well, I just wanted to, let you know that my company is the best fit for you." And he does tell Tucker, "I don't 100% trust you, but I know your company would be a good fit, if I decided to go that way, but I'm loyal to Lily." And he says, "Yeah." And so Tucker starts talking about, letting the universe work for you, and just trusting the universe and all this. And Daniel's like, "What did you say?" And Tucker was like, "Trusting the universe?" He said, "Yeah. My wife used to say that Heather used to say that all the time." Is it Heather or Lucy? Anyways, child. And he says, "Oh, so then Tucker know what he be doing. He drops the ball about Phyllis went to Portugal." And Daniel said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Oh, I overstepped. Oh, sorry about that. Let me go." I said, "Tucker, you ain't no dang good." So then Tucker goes over to see Dominic, but Abby is there, and she says Devon is not here, and he was like, "Okay." And then so she tells him, he says, "I have a gift for Dominic." And she says, he's sleeping. And Abby is just being a pit bull about it. And I understand Abby's upset, but this is my whole thing. You act like your father hasn't done way worse stuff than what Tucker has done. Like, y'all need to stop it. At this very moment, he wants to take over Tucker's business. Y'all need to stop it. Everyone has so much opinion, because she reading Tucker the Riot Act, and Tucker's trying to explain to her, "Yeah, I did it the wrong way, but I really want to work with your mom and Devon." And she just telling him, well, if I have anything to say about it, you won't be with him. And I said, bye, Abby. See, I try to like you and then you work my nerves. So then we go over here to Devon, and Esther hugs him and she was like, oh, it's too much. And he was like, no. But she was like, you're Mrs. C grandson, and I love you. I've always loved you. And I don't want to gossip, but I want you and Lily to work this out, and he tells her, thank you. He loves her too, and it'll be all right. And I forgot the picture of Lily, y'all. So y'all gonna have to just bear with me. So, anyways, he goes in and he talks to Lily, and he said, what I heard about your conversation with Abby, and she told me that you really want to just work with me. And she said, yes, yes. And he told her, I call BS on that, because you don't want this, just you don't want to hold me just to be work with me. He said, because if that was the case, then you wouldn't do the IPO, because I'm unhappy about that. He said, the truth of the matter is you have sided with Jill on this whole thing. Jill makes decisions. Y'all want to do the IPO. I don't want to. And instead of just saying, okay, I get it, and giving me my company back, you sided with Jill, and you trying to just, oh, you could have the name, but we're gonna keep your company that I built. So don't pass off this, I want to work with my brother crap at me. Well, he didn't say all that, but don't pass that I want to work with my brother off as like, oh, he's just being unreasonable. He said, because I'm not. If you really cared about me and wanted to do something, then you would give me my company back. And he said, so, I'm sorry. Pretty much Devon said, this is gonna be what it is. You have chosen Jill over me, and that's just it. That's what the bottom line is. You've chosen money and profits, and she has these big eyes because she wants to do this IPO and launch this huge company, where he's like, but we're not gonna have be able to have say and autonomy over what we want to do. And she doesn't see that. And he was like, and because you don't see that, and you don't see my vision of it, we can't work together. We can't, this isn't gonna work. And so he was done. And I'm like, good for you, Devon, because everybody wants to always say that he's wrong for the way he's looking at this. And I'm like, he didn't want to merge the company. You talked him into merging the company. And if you had told him y'all were gonna try to do an IPO, I'm sure he wouldn't have done it. So then we go over here to Jack and Diane, and he tells her about his conversation with Kyle. And she says, "Well, I need to speak to Kyle because he's afraid I'm gonna leave, and isn't trusting this relationship." And Jack says, "I can go." And she said, "No, I think it's better if I can speak to Kyle alone, so he won't feel like, if anything happens." If yeah, he can speak freely and won't feel like you'll defend me. And he was like, yeah, I would. I said, we know your nose is wide open, Jack. And so then she calls Kyle up for a meeting, right? And so then we see Diane and Kyle talk. And, she says, I spoke to Summer. And I said, why are you bringing up Summer? And she definitely told me how she feels about me and Jack. He said, I haven't had a chance to speak to Summer yet. And see, it's Diane doing stuff like that makes me not trust her. But anyway, she said, I spoke to Summer about it, and she definitely told me how she feels. And then she said, and then I spoke to your father, and he told me about the conversation you had. And Kyle said, see, this is what I'm talking about. That was a father-son conversation, and he went and told you. Is that how this is gonna go? I can never have a private conversation with the two of you, with one of you, and you not tell the other one. She was like, no, no, Kyle. Well, I mean, that's what it looked like. He had a conversation with Jack, and he ran and told you. So what you trying to say? And she said, listen, this, it's not going to work like that. I just want to let you know I am here for you. And I know you're concerned about this relationship, but I'm not going to hurt your father. And he said, well, honestly, you said you came back for me and Harrison. And but every time I turn around, it's more secrets, it's more lies, and all this business with Jeremy Stark. And then my dad he became a criminal for you. Like he stole from Summer's grandmother for you. Like, come on. And I said, see, Kyle saying exactly what we're saying, that you say you came back for me, but you was too happy to get with Jack. You know what I mean? It haven't even been all year, and you are already back with Jack. So he doesn't trust her. That's what the bottom line is. He does not trust her. He said, because I'm having a hard time thinking about the woman that I loved as a child, who was so caring, and this woman who's a criminal. Because Jack and them didn't let him know like who Diane really was when he was growing up. So he had to learn all of this stuff as he was recently in the last few months. And so now he's looking at it like, dang, did you really come back for Harrison and I, or did you come back for Jack? And she said, and he was like, and what if something happens between y'all? And what are you gonna do? And she says, I'm not gonna leave again, Kyle. I'm gonna be here for you. And he said, she was like, there's no more lies. You know everything. I just don't believe that, y'all. But we'll see. We'll see. And honestly, like I've told y'all before, I don't mind Jack and Diane together. And Kyle, you were the one who wanted to bring her in when Jack was not trusting her. You were the one that told everyone to give her the benefit of the doubt. And so Jack opened his heart up and he said, Jack, we depend on Jack and this family. And she said, and I'm ready to take that on too. Yes, you are, girl. You want to be the lady of the house. Anyways, child, that was it with them. He doesn't 100% trust her. She reassures him that nothing's going to happen. And he like, all right. So then we go to Adam and Jack, and Adam goes over to Jack and he tells him, I hate to bring this to you, but I feel like my father is up to something. Nick warned me that he's trying to sabotage me at Jabot. And Jack said, I'm not surprised why and that Victor would think that way or wants to do something like that. He said, why? Because his mind is twisted. And Jack said, you said it, not me. He said, but I hate to tell you this, but because he Jack was just like, we'll be on the lookout for that and nothing's gonna happen. He said, I think Kyle is involved in it as well. And he said, what? No, Kyle. And Adam says, I've seen them together, Jack, so I think he's recruited Kyle. And so of course Jack is disappointed in this, but he gonna get to the bottom of it. And that was The Young and the Restless today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow for an all new episode of What Happened on the Soaps, The Young and the Restless edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.